Do not underestimate Russia. World War III is coming near. Most people all around the world think that World War III will not happen because they are led to believe that mutually assured destruction would happen, where both Russia and USA would be destroyed and disperse nuclear ash into sky, making the whole planet uninhabitable. They believe that nuclear fallout will cause ice age and that no life will survive for decades. People rely on the information based on the Hollywood movies and the mainstream media that often provide wrong information. This is Satan's deception that he wants people to believe. It is dangerous to think this way because it puts people to get relaxed, thinking that the destruction won't happen. Hence, there is no immediate need to seek God and come to Him. There will not be mutually assured destruction, or called MAD, when the nuclear war breaks out. It will be a unilateral destruction instead, meaning one side takes down the other and invade. And certainly not all nukes will be used by either countries. Not the entire world will be affected by it. Not all lives will be lost. The nuclear war will be a lot smaller than most people think. There are also many people out there that believe Russia is weak, both economically and militarily, because it's a poor country. People believe that Russia is just recovering from the collapse of the Soviet Union back in the 90s. They believe that Russia's military is no match for a superpower nation like the United States, whose military budget spending is 15 times that of Russia. This is a great deception that people are living in today. The reality is that Russia has changed gradually since the fall of the Soviet Union. President Vladimir Putin has turned the country around and made it great again. Despite its low economy and limited budget, the country has managed to improve military power tremendously in the last 15 or so years. Their economy has also improved, and the country was transformed from communism to capitalism. Russia has become a Christian nation. Russia has developed very powerful weapons and air defense systems, as well as large-scale electronic jamming weapons. Their military forces are very potent, but is often ignored by the Western mainstream media. Russia has been warning America for a few decades not to wage wars against Middle Eastern nations, taking out third world countries to gain control and steal their resources. So many innocent lives have been lost. So many military men have lost their lives. The US government has been practicing the scheme of divide and conquer many nations and devour them by stealing their resources. Many third world nations have been suffering economically as a result. Many people have been suffering from poverty as a result. The US government wants Russia to be torn apart as well, so that the country can be weakened and become powerless to defend herself. The US wants to gain control over Russia. Russia has been defending their country to keep the United States from taking over Russia, which is why Russia has made their military strong to keep the US out of their backyard. Today, the situation is very tense as both countries have been in arms race by developing missiles for warfare. In the recent time, the US has placed intermediate-range ballistic missiles in NATO countries near Russian border. They also installed missile launchers in Japan and South Korea. Russia last year released a series of hypersonic missile systems, including the latest generation ICBMs that are able to bypass the US's NORAD defense system without getting detected. Russia also has submarine-launched ballistic missiles and nuclear torpedoes that are also able to penetrate US defense shield. Russia also has superior air defense systems, namely the S-400 and S-500, which are designed to take down nuclear ICBMs and SLBMs, as well as intermediate-range ballistic missiles. Furthermore, Russia has electronic jamming warfare systems that protect their cities from nuclear missile threats. In reality, Russia is a lot stronger than the US military, despite its small military budget. Bible prophecy indicates that the World War III is coming, and it triggers the tribulation where the world has never experienced before. Matthew chapter 24 talks about wars and rumors of wars. Nation rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. These are the signs of tribulation that is coming near. The Bible also mentions that the king of the north, refers to Russia, will defeat the king of the south, United States, in the end times. Daniel chapter 11:40 states, "And at the time of the end shall the king of the south push at him, and the king of the north shall come against him like a whirlwind, with chariots, and with horsemen, and with many ships, and he shall enter into the countries, and shall overflow and pass over." It is indicating that Russia will win in the coming World War III and invade the US mainland and her allies. There will be joint operation between Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea. Bible mentions about the fireballs coming from sky. It is referring to hypersonic nuclear missiles coming down to attack America. The US has hundreds of bases stationed all around the world that surround Russia. The US has geographical advantages due to the support from the NATO countries. US has great military technologies that are more computer dependent. Despite all advantages the US has over Russia, the Bible prophecy doesn't state that the king of South will win in the coming war. It states that Russia will win in the World War III. The judgment coming to America. God himself is allowing her enemies to attack her and take over. God is not siding with the US because of her sins. And this prophecy will come to pass. We could delay the World War III or even possibly avert it if more people across the nation repent. People of America and the government will all need to come to God and repent for the sins we have been committing. There is too much sin in one side of the weighing scale and not enough act of kindness on the other side of the scale. Jesus is speaking to us not to rely on the world and our own human understanding. He is telling us not to rely on mighty military power, thinking that it will save America in the event of major war with her adversaries. The judgment comes from God. He makes decision who he supports and who he does not. We don't have the full control. There are things he allows and he doesn't allow. It's all about how we live our lives and living for God. Sins matter to him greatly. Furthermore, he wants us to come to him so we can obey his commandments. Jesus is crying out because so many babies are being aborted every single day. He is crying out because people are waging wars to divide and kill, all the wickedness and evil that God detests. I had a very strong prophetic dream several years ago where America was being attacked via nuclear missiles. The ones I saw were submarine-launched nukes coming from the ocean. One came down in a coastal city, and another one was flying toward the inner cities of the mainland. I was able to see the close view of the missile as it was flying. It was zoomed in when the missile was coming down, so I could see the detail of it. I knew it was a prophetic dream from God. It was incredibly vivid and clear. Time is running out. Jesus is calling us to come to him. He is also calling us to wake other people up so that they can come to him and receive his love. Time is running out. Jesus wants us to reach out as many people as possible to deliver the gospel of Jesus. Jesus is real living God who loves all of us. He doesn't want anyone to perish. Jesus is calling us.